سراج، عضو الهيئة الإدارية لجمعية الكندي للمهندسين بالمملكة المتحدة. أرحب بكم جميعا في حضور أول بزنس شوكيس للدورة 27 تحت مبادرة دعم الشركات الريادية الهندسية بالقطاع الخاص. ابتداء اسمحوا لي أن أرحب بالرئيس التنفيذي لشركة بيور الأمريكية والريادي الأعمال الأستاذ محمد الخفاجي، يتحدث عن تجربته الشخصية في مجال تطوير وبناء نظام مالي خاص للتجارة الإلكترونية لخدمة الزبائن في العراق. كما أحب هنا نستعرض لكم نبذة عن المتحدث. الأستاذ محمد الخفاجي هو خريج الدراسة الثانوية من كلية بغداد، حاصل على شهادة البكالوريوس في علوم الحاسبات من جامعة إلينويس إربانا تشامبيونز، والماجستير من نفس الاختصاص من جامعة شيكاغو الأمريكيتين. أسس عدة شركات ريادية في أمريكا، يترأس حاليا شركة بيور للتجارة الإلكترونية والخدمات المالية التكنولوجية. سوف أكتفي بهذا القدر ليترك الأخ محمد أن يحدثنا عن مشروع بيور. أود أن أشير أن الوقت المحدد لاستعراض المشروع من قبل المتحدث سوف يكون بحدود 30-40 دقيقة. بعدها سوف ننتقل لفقرة الأسئلة والأجوبة والتي سوف تكون بحدود 30-40 دقيقة أيضا. أرجو من الجميع إعداد المايك على وضع الصامت. أتمنى للجميع الاستفادة من فعالية اليوم وشكرا. الآن تقدر تفضل أخي محمد وشكرا لك.
شكرا على المقدمة، شكرا على الاستضافة. Do you prefer عربي ولا إنجليزي؟ Which way do we?
I think it's up to you. لا تريد البرزنتيشن بالإنجليزي والأسئلة والأجوبة على رغبة اللي يسأل. شنو رأيك؟
اوكي، هو أنا I prefer يعني حتى نفس الفلو بالإنجليزي.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw in a few words.
أي.
a little bit easier.
I know.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you again for welcoming me here. So Pure Platform is a US-based company, and we're going to do the presentation on this experience that we had in Iraq. Thank you for Calvin for the quick introduction. My background is in computer science, specialty around artificial intelligence, blockchain, and scalable cloud-based systems. I've started 7 companies, co-founded 7 companies, 2 successful acquisitions, all in health tech and fintech. So Pure Platform, the purpose of Pure Platform, what we're trying to do is our mission is to build the world's first frictionless platform. So frictionless means no transaction fees, or as blockchain calls it sometimes, gas fees. Trustless platform in the sense that participants of the platform do not need to trust each other. The only trust that's needed is in the platform itself. Seamless platform in the sense that services and utilities are fully integrated and seamless, where the user does not need to worry about any aspect or overhead or any impurity that may be provided by third parties in the system. A lot of this is influenced by blockchain, but we're not using blockchain technology, just an FYI. So Pure Platform brings a world of e-commerce. It's our first application to a cash-based economy in Iraq without defaulting to cash on delivery models. I'm sure a lot of you guys who have been to the Middle East or maybe left Iraq later on in your life understand the impact of cash-based economies and the consequences of it. I frequent Dubai, for example. Even Dubai, considered one of the most advanced, probably in the MENA region, still cash on delivery is very prominent, to the point where the situation today, or what's happening today, reminds me where the US was 12, 13, 14 years ago, where the vendor or the seller refers to the machine not working, the credit card, and so on, and they prefer cash. I still see it today here in Dubai, where they say, "Oh, the machine is not working. I'm not getting signal," and all of that, and cash is preferred. And there's a lot of companies, big companies, that default to cash on delivery. They don't accept credit cards or other forms of payments. So cash is very prominent in the world. Over 2/3 of world economies rely on cash. So Pure Platform, by building this platform, we're trying to solve what I call the biggest fintech problem, which is cash, the cash problem. Pure Platform's mobile application platform uses a digital token. It's not ERC driven, it's not on Ethereum or blockchain related, but it's a similar concept, utility based, where we have like a single source of truth, which is Pure Platform. Obviously, it's not decentralized. It's a digital token or point system called Keto, where customers can access local services, goods, services, global e-commerce vendors, all within the same platform without any transaction fees. The Keto is a digital token or a reward. It could be used as a reward for other purchases that come along with other forms of payments like Visa, MasterCard, credit cards, mobile wallets, payments, and so on. So the Keto is the Keto platform aims to provide the alternative to Visa, MasterCard platform, in the sense that it's not replacing Visa and MasterCard. It's supplementing Visa and MasterCard or other forms of mobile wallet payments, in the sense that it also attracts cash. This is what we're focused on in Iraq. Obviously, Iraq is probably one of the most ripe examples for use of cash. As of today, we have over 185,000 registered customers. We ship over 9,000 pounds consumer products, predominantly consumer products. We don't have any merchants. We haven't focused on B2B. We have 5 hubs, 54% purchase retention, and for payment methods. So pretty much any type of payment supported in Iraq is available to be used on the platform. By the way, the Keto ecosystem, we have 3 provisional patents on it. And later this year, third quarter, fourth quarter, we're focusing on establishing several patents on the ecosystem, more towards unleashing additional properties of the Keto to empower the consumer in a cash-based economy. Iraq's economy, obviously, we all know the potential. Surprisingly, Iraq's GDP per capita is pretty significant. Obviously, there aren't a lot of numbers that you can rely on, but these are some of the numbers that are borrowed from the World Bank, IMF, International Monetary Fund. GDP per capita in Iraq is one of the largest in the region, so that's pretty exciting for a potential opportunity. And obviously, a lot of smartphone usage and penetration and internet. E-commerce is large and growing in Iraq. I remember seeing consumer spending in Iraq being somewhere over $150 billion around 2 years ago. That's significant in the region. I think that's equivalent to Dubai or UAE, what it was maybe 8 or 10 years ago. And then it started, doubling, quadrupling from there. So Iraq has a lot of potential, a lot of room to grow from there. Total addressable market as of today for e-commerce, 3.5 billion, estimated to grow to 5.6. So there are, obviously, I'm not going to bore you with numbers. You can access the presentation. It's not proprietary. Kadam, you can share it with whoever is interested. Iraq is a cash-based society. Again, there are no official statistics, but roughly about 20% of the population has credit bank accounts. Roughly around 2% have access to credit cards. There is a lot of mistrust in the ecosystem for a lot of obvious reasons. Retail is still concentrated in offline vendors, high transaction fees, especially as credit card processors start to do it locally in Iraq. Before they relied on external, countries to manage some of the credit card processing, which impose additional fees, and then highly fragmented retail. Not a lot of brand names, not a lot of authentic brand names, and so on. Pure Platform brings e-commerce, true e-commerce, what I call true e-commerce, which is a little bit different than what maybe a lot of providers call their services as e-commerce. To me, a true e-commerce is 100% non-interventionist. There is no human intervention. It's 100% online, trackable, payable, everything is driven by an app or a technology. You don't need to talk to anyone to browse products, to purchase products, to track products until you receive them. There aren't many true e-commerce applications. So Pure Platform aims to provide a true e-commerce, bring it to cash-based market. Iraq was considered our first proof of concept with ideas or ambitions to expand in the region and beyond. One of the biggest economics that are embedded in the Kido platform itself, the supply of Kidos are limited. So this is akin to blockchain tokens, utility tokens, as well as cryptocurrency, in the sense that supply is limited, which allows for diminishing inflation as time passes. Because of the limited supply of Kidos and because Kidos are involved in every transaction, then gross profits provided by all the sales divided by the average number of Kidos used per year brings significant return on investment on each Kido, which provides tremendous value in the Kido itself, although one Kido is equal to $1. So it's a new concept of a utility token that is highly driven by supply and demand. It's non-speculative. That means no one can buy Kido today and expect the price to go up and profit from it. It's anti-money laundering, does not require KYC because it's a point system that is not fungible with cash. It's not a currency because it's not fungible with other currencies. So it has special properties that allow it to be redeemable for services and products within the platform. It can be obtained today through a representative. We actually can afford to send a representative home and allow the customer to deposit or buy Kidos for free and without any charge, transaction free. And the reason why we can do that because per Kido profit is much higher than the fee that we can give to the rep that goes home to the customer's home. So the economics are embedded into the ecosystem itself, which is very scalable and very expandable. Kido can also be obtained as a chargeback and earned rewards while shopping from brick and mortar stores. We have a property, we call it open, shake, and scan. So basically you open the app, you shake the phone, you scan the device at any participating stores in the network, and a proportional percentage of what you spend will come back in the form of Kidos as rewards. And basically this is nothing but rebate from the vendor back to you or the seller back to you. So it's a form of gaining points. We're also in talks with regional Visa in the MENA region to integrate the Kido as a reward program to start as a proof of concept in Iraq. So basically with every swipe of Visa, no matter what you use it, you're going to gain points in the form of Kido, and you can immediately redeem these points in our wide network of global and local vendors. Our hopes to expand this in the region as well and go far and beyond. Kido in itself is an embedded form of payment because you can redeem it for products and services, and it transfers between customers instantly, spontaneously, and obviously we use two-factor authentication to ensure security. But one of the unique features of the Kido, it beats Visa and MasterCard, and it beats Bitcoin in the sense that the number of transactions, as you guys may be aware, maybe it's a surprise, it'll come as a surprise to you, the number of Visa transactions in the world, all of the world combined per second, I remember from 2 years ago, it was around 6,000 or 7,000 transactions per second. I believe the number grew to 20, but I'm not really sure. So let's call it between 7,000 to 20,000 transactions per second worldwide. MasterCard is a little bit less. As you know, Bitcoin, maybe it'll come as a surprise to a lot of you guys, maybe some of you are familiar with it. Bitcoin transactions do not pass more than probably 4.6, let's call it 5 transactions per second worldwide, which is obviously incredibly unscalable and cannot be used at retail stores at this point. And this scales up to all the other cryptocurrencies and utility tokens as well. The Kido was designed with highly tech technology that allows it to be processed using serverless platform. So each Keto transaction is a serverless transaction. So we can scale as high as Amazon AWS services can scale. And in technology term, this is called unlimited number of transactions per second. So Keto can scale out to be unlimited number of transactions until Amazon runs out of hardware. So which is very unlikely for the number of transactions needed. So these are some of the properties of the Keto that enable the platform to be incredibly valuable and provides value to convince cash-based consumer to utilize the platform. The functionality is very simple. Basically, we've integrated many global vendors into, and I'll show you a quick demo from the app itself. I'll share it on my screen. That's why I'm logged in from 2 different devices. The idea is to provide something incredibly simple and seamless for the customer that is not used to e-commerce. It's funny enough, a lot of our customers, when they contact us, it's their first time ever buying something online. And it's very funny because when they contact our customer service, they say, hey, are you sure I can click on this button? Are you sure I'm not going to lose my money when I click on this button? They're very hesitant when they click the buy now because the process is very simple. As you know, psychologically, when the process tends to be very simple, it tends to be more scary than it is, a lot of work. You talk to a lot of people, then you feel a little bit more comfortable, which is kind of ironic. But the process is meant to be very simple. 5 simple steps from browsing a product in Amazon until you actually purchase it. And we'll demonstrate this. We have a lot of vendors in the app. We have a proprietary technology that allows us to integrate any vendor in the world within a day to 2 days. When I say integrate, it's not just integrating the view and allowing us to pull products and customizations, which is incredibly difficult. If you're in the field of IT, you understand how difficult it is because every vendor has a different way of displaying products, uniquely, especially. Integration is not only limited to this, but also when you search it. And I'll show you our advanced search algorithms, which uses AI, but it allows to search across all these vendors at the same time. So many advanced features that we do as part of this integration. Eventually you'll be able to add the item along with the customizations uniquely. And then you go to the shopping cart. We have one unified shopping cart that allows you to add products from various vendors all in one shopping cart. And we also, and I'll show you a demo, like I said, I'll make it a little bit easier to understand or demonstrate. We also have this unique feature of what we call the local market. So global market, local customers in Iraq can access global vendors from the convenience of their home. In the words of one of the biggest bankers in Iraq, I'm not going to mention his name, but one of the biggest investors in Baghdad Bank, we were discussing an acquisition in Iraq, but we did not agree on what Pure Platform is actually is. He wanted it to be an asset-full company, and when our focus wanted to be an asset-less company, highly tech. In any case, he said one of the reasons that made him very interested in the services is that he thought that customers can be highly addicted to the shopping experience on this, and this is driven by his own personal experience with his daughter and his wife. He said, I don't see them anymore. They're always on the phone, browsing different vendors and on Pure Platform. So this is kind of good that you're bringing the whole world to the hands of Iraqis when traditionally it's a non-online market. We also have a local market to allow any individual local market or people with special skills to upload to create their own market online. So this is akin to Amazon reseller, if you guys are familiar with this. It allows customers to create their own business entity here. They'll have their own unique URL that they can share with the tracking statistics, how many people click, how many people shopped, and so on. When someone goes into their special page that they build inside the app, you can list the number of products, all the products that this vendor has. And all of this is provided at no charge to the customer. So any business in Iraq can add their own shop online. And we only charge per transaction, basically based on the retail. We know what retail should charge per transaction. What we should charge per retail price, because we know the different categories and they're, generally speaking, what the profit margin is. This provides a very scalable business, e-commerce business, to any business in Iraq. They don't need to worry about payment. They don't need to worry about an app, online e-commerce, tracking. And also I'm not going to bore you with the details, but we created this trustless platform where finally we solved a lot of the issues that are ingrained in the system today, where customers don't trust the business doesn't trust the customer. The customer sometimes receive a product that is not what they ordered, and the business will never return it because they got the money, and vice versa. The customer may order a product, they try it on, and they return it because it's a cash on delivery type model, and they don't need to pay. We've eliminated all of this using a trustless model where if everybody plays by the rules, anybody that plays by the rules does not lose. If they sway away from the rules, they're going to have to pay a fee. Business model for pure platform, obviously it's targeted at customers and vendors. I'm going to bore you with these details. Obviously, when we launched sometime around February of 2020 with the global market, we have seen tremendous interest and growth in the application. As you see, steady growth with about 2 dips following obviously Black Friday events, which have been very significant for us. But over time, it's trending up a graph or trend. And the only time it dropped for a couple of months in a row, or 1 month in a row, just 1 month following Black Friday, is when there was a 23% currency devaluation of the dollar. And the purchases are in dollars, so this made it 23% more expensive for Iraqis to buy. But then immediately they adjusted to it and then started trending up again. One interesting thing to show to demonstrate the success of the platform is that yet to date, our cost of acquisition, which is probably the most expensive thing for any e-commerce company, our cost of acquisition is 0, in the sense that we don't spend any money on marketing, advertisement, not even boosting on our social media platforms. We have our own social media platforms. We just post, and it's organic growth driven primarily by word of mouth, which is I think significant and speaks to the value that we're providing to customers. The growth in terms of customers, obviously, it's going up significantly as well. And one of the biggest things that we wanted to do, and this goes to the people that are interested in entrepreneurship. So this is a little bit aside from pure platform. This is more focused on being an entrepreneur, some of the things that you have to address and think about. Obviously, when we launched with Amazon, we've seen a very early success. One of the biggest issues we had in the first 2 or 3 months, because of the volume that we had through Amazon has grown a lot. Our account got locked with Amazon, which was a problem. It was early on with COVID. You couldn't communicate with anybody in Amazon. You send an email, you have to wait a couple of months. I contacted regional managers. I even sent a message to Jeff Bezos through a lot of connections. Finally got a hold of regional manager, got the account open, created an account, because they didn't understand the significant increase in growth over a short period of time. We quickly became one of the top 5% to resellers from Amazon within the first 6 months, which is significant on their terms. Obviously, it's a new model for them. They're not used to this type of model. They're used to resellers selling locally in the US. Based on this experience as an entrepreneur, we thought, okay, well, we can't do this anymore, right? We can't continue to rely on one vendor. Even if we have 5 or 6 vendors, we can't have Amazon take 98% of the lion's share, and then in one click could affect our business. So since then, we started focusing on dropping the share per vendor in the app. And as of September 2021, Amazon share dropped significantly from about 100% to 44%. It doesn't mean it dropped in sales. It's growing in sales, but by percentage, the other vendors are also providing similar, competing volume. And I believe by today, there are other vendors that are significantly competing with Amazon. And the goal is to bring all vendors to under 5%, so no one vendor can have a significant impact on the app. And one of the things that I want that is critical, obviously, to open in any new market is to understand competition, direct and indirect competition. As of today, we don't have direct competition in the sense of any platform that's providing true e-commerce. There are indirect competition, and they're generally classified in two categories. There is what I call the international shipping companies. These primarily rely on third parties, so they're just broker firms or middleman or third party, relying on another source that relies on, renting mailboxes, forwarders to buy products, to have the customer buy his products and then provide an address. And it's like a shop and ship, if you guys are familiar with this. And so this is a model that exists in the whole MENA region. It's not just in Iraq, by the way. Obviously, it has its own challenges. It's we have a lot of advantages over this type of model in the sense that we own our own warehouses, our own logistics system and tracking. These types of companies, they forced people to understand or to change their behavior. So this is kind of similar, different than England or the US, where you can order 40 items, 30 items. You don't need to worry about logistics. In these countries that rely on shop and ship type models, suffer from a lot of challenges, to the point where they had to change their mindset on how they shop. So if you talk to some of these that have done this for a long time, it's already ingrained in their mind that they can only order 1 or 2 items at a time, and typically from one vendor, to maximize the probability that these products will arrive around the same time, so they can aggregate them and ship them together, so they can save price. So in their mind, they cannot order from several vendors at the time. At the same time, they cannot order a lot of products because they may arrive at longer periods. Well, if they arrive at longer periods, now you will be charged maybe storage fees for having these items accumulate. If you don't want to pay storage fees, you need to ship whatever has arrived. Then you are shipping smaller items or less items. Now you're paying higher price or higher cost. If you tell the shipping company, return the item to the vendor, well, you have to print a label, and it costs $10 or $15 per item to return. If you say, okay, you know what, throw the item, just throw it in the garbage, well, there's a disposal fee. It's usually also about $5 to $10 per item. So this model is incredibly inefficient, unscalable, and definitely does not add up to an entertaining experience. All the way on the other, so we don't have everything that I just mentioned. Is not something that that customers suffer through us. You don't need to aggregate. You aggregate at the point of purchase. We don't aggregate at the point the items arrive. So you can order 100 items coming from 17 vendors, and any item that comes could be as small as a toothbrush. It will ship immediately. We don't charge you the cost of shipping a toothbrush. We've charged you already for the 70 items that you've ordered altogether. So this is kind of unique. This does not exist today. There are some, you can call them like some companies that are trying to do similar models, but they're very infant stages. They miss a lot of the AI-driven capabilities that we have. On the far right side, you have the local e-commerce players. So these are local e-commerce companies that are heavily driven by assets. These are warehouses, heavy warehouses. They try to predict consumers' behavior and desire for products. They purchase a lot of products. They have them stored so they have a heavy storage fees, and then customers will buy, and then they ship the products from their storage. There are several players in Iraq, probably 6 or 7. Most of them, if not probably all, suffer from, and I've spoken to a lot of these vendors we have direct relationships with. A lot of them suffer from heavy losses because of storage fees. And obviously it's hard if you decide to bring something like this and sell it, and then you find out that when you stack 100 of 1,000 of these, you find out that customers would only want to buy the one that has a pink cap, for example. Now you have to customize it. You have to bring the pink cap bottles, and then the blue cap bottle or the purple ones no one buys, right? And this is like the same with shoes. You bring the pink one, Jordan, Air Jordan, and then everyone wants the blue one, right? You bring the blue and everyone wants the green ones, and so on. So this is a very expensive model. It's not very scalable. We're different than them in the sense that we don't have storage cost. We are akin to a proxy. We're kind of like the early days of Amazon, where they don't own any warehouses. They just own fulfillment centers. It's a proxy to sellers. So the customer can buy anything they want. And then at the moment that they order, we buy the product, we deliver it to our warehouse, we immediately ship it next day to the customer, no storage fees, and we don't need to worry about not bringing the right product for the customer. The customer chooses. We just give them a window to the whole world. The biggest differentiator that I would say we have in Iraq today in the region, and we're speaking to several players in the region, several VCs, different players, like big players like Noon and others. And one of the biggest differentiators that we have is technology. Our technology is very flexible. It's very localizable. Right now, we're working on customizing the app to launch it in 3 other countries in the MENA region, and potentially as far out west as the African Union, 15 countries, primarily French-speaking countries. So this will the app is very flexible. It allows for localization, a lot of customizations. It's reliable. In 2 years, we have not had an unplanned downtime. No matter how high the volume goes or drops. Development, we have highly agile development cycle, 2 to 6 weeks. Two-factor authentication for all the sensitive transactions that are involved that involve cash, and highly scalable platform that can scale to any number of customers. Some of the advanced features that we have in the app that are incredibly difficult to manage, especially when you don't have access to the vendors, global vendors, because you have a lot of vendors, right? And it's very hard to centralize across all. One of the challenges that someone may ask is, and I'll demonstrate all this in the app. Someone may ask, well, if you open Amazon USA to Iraqis, and Iraqi can buy any product, right? Especially ones that may not pass by customs. And we've launched a robo shopper technology. I'll talk about this a bit later, where the purchase is done directly by robots. We don't, no human beings are actually performing the purchase, which means theoretically you can have an illegal item being purchased and shipped to Iraq and being stuck in customs. Our advanced algorithms allow for this to stop being added to the cart. So I'll say that this item does not qualify with to pass by Iraqi customs. We can actually customize the customs laws by profile. So, for example, custom laws in Iraq may not be exactly the same as custom laws in UAE, for example. So UAE may prevent people from buying, for example, honey, because they may have honey as a local product, but in Iraq, maybe honey is allowed. So you have different profiles for custom laws. We also have a universal shopping cart where we allow the customer to add items from various vendors across different continents, different countries. And then at the end, we give them all in one shopping cart, and we give them a summary at the end. Here's the overhead from the Souq al-Amriki, Souq al-Europi, Souq al-Turki, Souq al-Khaliji. These are all the individual breakdowns of shipping, customs, and everything that you need to pay. And all in one shopping cart, and at the end you pay, and that's it. You pay up front, you don't pay a single penny afterwards. By the way, so I travel a lot in the region, and I have not found a single company in Dubai or in UAE that will give me the final price on any globally purchased product. So usually any company that I purchase from, including Amazon, when they knock on the door, the other day, I brought medicine from the US to Dubai, and forget about the challenges that I had with the customs, that I needed prescription, and no one knew where the product was. But in any case, some of these challenges that don't exist, ironically, with Pure Platform, because you have advanced tracking. At the door, the person asked for money, 150 dirhams. So I flashed my credit card to swipe it. Of course, the system did not work, did not have good signal. So he asked for cash. I didn't have cash. So he pulled the medicine out of my hand and he said, okay, well, I'll return tomorrow when you have cash. Now it's a surprise. I didn't know that you needed to pay 150 dirham for customs. This problem does not exist with Pure Platform. We estimate all of these fees up front. We also have advanced universal tracking. This is a unique system that does not exist anywhere in the world with all other shopping platforms, in the sense that most tracking platforms provide tracking from A to B between 2 points exactly. Once you involve more than one company, you do not have aggregate tracking all in one app. So here we may involve 5 or 6, or in the sense that in the example of AliExpress, you may have 7 or 8 different shipping companies, all in, in by sea and by land and by air and so on, various tracking companies all aggregated in one tracking, familiar to our customers. On the left side, you have the screens, and it shows all the way from Qaida Tanfid all the way to Tamat Taslim Lek. And then this goes through several companies. And the tracking is updated using technology. It's not done by a person. It's 100% done through technology as the item advances from a stage to another. And on the right side, you have a map for each individual item. And if you see, the tracking is at the minute level at your local time. And we have also advanced global search. And I'm coming towards the end. I know I have probably maybe about 5 minutes. Advanced global search, this is a unique feature that we offer, which allows you to search globally across all global vendors. The unique thing about this is not just searching globally, not only searching in Arabic, which a lot of these vendors probably don't even understand that Arabic is a language, but also you can actually do it with Iraqi accent, Iraqi slang. So here I have an example where someone searches for Jizdan Ahmar, and then you click on it, and then it shows in Amazon all the red wallets, and then you can browse these. You have filter, you can filter by price, you can filter by market, and so on. For people interested as a small company, entrepreneurship in Iraq, it's been a tremendous challenge. These are some of the challenges we face. Obviously, changing customers' behavior from cash on delivery to 100% pay upfront, which, like I said, it's not only a challenge in Iraq, it's in two-thirds of world economies, including the Middle East. More advanced countries like UAE, Saudi Arabia, and others, they still have cash on delivery as an option. We do not offer cash on delivery as an option, yet we're expanding with our user base because we provide the value that the customers want. And I remember about 15 years ago when Visa and MasterCard launched in the US, and I used to go buy at the store. The store still, always told me, okay, click on the debit option, don't click on credit. If you guys remember 15 years ago, I'm sure in Western Europe was the same as well. And some of them will say, oh, my machine's not working, you have to pay cash. Similar to what you see in Iraq today. But I see gradually over time, I was forced to get a Visa or a MasterCard, not because I liked Visa or MasterCard, but because Amazon said, hey, if you like my Prime service, you must subscribe with a credit card. And Netflix said the same thing. If you like my streaming service, you must subscribe with a credit card. And I obtained a credit card simply because of to allow myself access to value. Shipping and custom, a lot of challenges, obviously, and laws change every day in Iraq, which is incredibly challenging. And we had to diversify our shipping companies to pass by a lot of challenges. Entrepreneurship in Iraq is also a challenge. Customer service, we solved it with providing 24/7 access to customer service, being very responsive to customers. Surprisingly, payment fraud is a huge problem in Iraq, and that banks were not keen to solve, which is surprising. When Amazon started in the US, they did not need to deal with payment frauds. Banks dealt with it. In Iraq, we had to build our own fraud detection algorithm because of the tremendous volume of fraud theft. At 1 month, we lost, I think, $37,000 worth of losses. And when we could not rely on banks, we created our own fraud detection algorithm. And we're about 8 months into this, and we have not lost anything. We've been able to identify fraud. Obviously, difficult market in Iraq, not a lot of laws, false advertisement. Some of the companies that come and try to compete, they may say, hey, free shipping. And then the customers say, oh, this company is cheaper than you. And then it turns out they'll have like 15, 20% on customs, but it's too late, right? The product arrived and they say, well, you either pay me now or not, right? Or they have a conversion rate on international, like dollar or Turkish lira, they'll have like 40% transaction conversion rate. So they make up some of the money. So all of this false advertisement, some of the fraudulent advertisement, these are challenges that we've seen in Iraq, but we continue to focus on what we offer. And we said, okay, just focus on providing a good service and let customers come to you. Forget about the noise that happens in the background. We have some of these pictures are old, maybe not all of the customers. Maybe we have a lot of new employees, some left. So we have young population of employees, all trained in the company. We train our own developers in a dev bootcamp type style. All development is in-house. We have a new model of running a company in Iraq where we use work from home, a lot of trust, no clocking in, clocking out. It's performance driven, and it's been working perfectly. Unlike what a lot of people thought could possibly happen in Iraq. And we have a concept of unlimited vacation as well, paid vacation. Just for reference, Kido has Iraqi reference, Mesopotamia reference. It comes from the word Enkidu, Gilgamesh solution, Gilgamesh, Epic of Gilgamesh. So it rhymes with Enkidu. And that's the presentation. I just want maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I'll demonstrate the app really quick.
Sure.
Because it'll make a lot more sense when you see it live versus me discussing it. I know I'm very good at explaining, but not as much as when you see the app itself. Okay. Let's see. Let me stop the share here. Okay. Do you see? Okay. Start broadcast. Okay. So pure platform, when you launch the app, when you launch the app, obviously, so I'll have it in English here. In the screenshots I had in Arabic. So we have 3 languages, Kurdish, English, and Arabic. We can add in the language pretty quickly. It's externalizable. This is the global market that I spoke about. You can easily click on Amazon. We have advanced technology in the sense that it doesn't matter where you are. It actually launches US Amazon. It's not going to launch your local Amazon, whatever you are. And it has accelerators. We expedite the process by identifying location and caching. So you see that the launch is much faster than you've anticipated would from the region. And then you can, obviously when, you can pick any product you want. So I'm going to pick this. And you scroll down. If it has different customizations, you can customize. As soon as you customize, add to cart button, floating button in the bottom shows up. You click on it and it adds it to cart. At this point, our proprietary technology will extract the item as well as all the customized features and adds it to cart. Very simple. I did not need to have an account with Amazon. I did not need to have an address in the US, forwarders, none of this stuff. I can now continue, go back. I can click on another vendor and so on. I'm going to show you now the advanced features. I'm going to search something in Arabic. So you can actually say PlayStation. I think you can do something like this. Obviously, a lot of people may PlayStation 5. Now, this may not show up on on some of these vendors when you search directly, but here you can actually see that it actually launches within Amazon. You can go to eBay. You can find PlayStation items related to this. Probably like some of the sellers use different names. Walmart, PlayStation. You can do console, and let's search for using Iraqi slang. Bantaroon, Bantaroon Akhdar. Okay, and then search. As you notice, using serverless technology, all of these vendors are being searched in parallel. Oh, this is okay, there we go. Yeah, so you see all these searches all these vendors in parallel. So this expedites the process of return. So I can click on any one of them as the other ones return. Let's see. Okay, so I'll try Bantal.
يحتاج تحط نون.
Yes.
يحتاج تحط نون I think بالبنطلون.
Bantalon. Like this.
بالعراقي بنطلون. بس هي it seems الالجوريثم it depends. Hey, look, now it's good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So in any case, and this learns over time. So as people type in things that we don't recognize, it uses reinforcement algorithm and it will learn this as time passes, right? So this is really cool, and you can filter, you can do this, and you see it returns very seamlessly and very quick. I can even do things like, like by vendor. So for example, this is a challenge that you see even in the US, right? Sometimes I want Adidas, حذاء Adidas أحمر, right? So sometimes it's the challenge when you're searching in the US. Do I go to Adidas and search? Am I going to get it at a cheaper price, or do I go to Walmart, or do I go to Amazon? So I can go click on Amazon and see Adidas shoes that are red, but I can also go to eBay. I can click whichever I want all in one access. I can click on Adidas itself, and it should bring up the red shoes, right? So which is kind of cool. I can click on any of them, and it goes directly to that page on Adidas, and it brings that shoe, and it actually highlights the customer. The red custom option of it. So that's pretty cool technology that does not exist. And let me try to do something that I've shown. If I search for musaddis, right? So obviously sometimes you can buy some of this stuff in the US, but obviously in Iraq it's not musaddis. Let me see. Okay. Let me click on, I don't know, why are these? Yes, oh, these are like BB guns. Okay, that's why they came up. So this is a gun. So sometimes if you try to, I don't know if this is an actual pistol. If it is an actual pistol, it should not allow me to add it to customs per customs laws. And a lot of things don't work in live demo, but let's see if it actually works. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't allow me to add it. You cannot add this item because it does not comply with Iraqi custom laws. So as you see, it's incredibly challenging, right? Because this is not my products, right? If it's my products, I can annotate it with that it does not pass by Iraqi customs. This is literally going off of an algorithm to identify what can be added, what cannot be added. So this is an advanced feature that allows to do this. And lastly, or second to last, I'll show you the tracking that I showed you there, but I'll show you here. It's pretty cool. This is one of my favorite and one of our customers' favorite, that it shows you the tracking in the exact same state where the item is in. So if I click on each individual item, it gives me, for this individual item, it gives you the tracking map. So this is what the item has been by the minute at each individual place. And when I'm looking at the items here, if I have any items that are shipped to Iraq, it will actually break down into different locations. It'll say local airports, Seattle, Cincinnati, Bahrain, customs, Baghdad, and so on. And it's all technology driven. Last thing I wanted to show is the actual cart. I'll come to cart. You have one universal shopping cart. And again, I did not need to log in with Adidas or provide any address or credit card. Now I have to worry about whether the credit cards can actually work or not with this vendor. I can add all these products, and they all show up in one universal shopping cart across different vendors, maybe even across different continents, right? I don't need to worry about logistics. I don't need to worry about where they come from, how long they take. All of the stuff, it's available here. And by the way, our AI algorithm estimates each one how long it takes to arrive at our warehouse and how long it'll take to actually arrive at my doorstep. And here at the end, it gives me the breakdown, customs, shipping fees, all by market, and our fee. Our fee is only 0.5%, minimum of $1 or 0.5%, which is incredibly low. But because we have no high margin of cost, it makes it profitable. And once I pay some of the options here in the bottom, then the purchase is done, and that's it. I can track it. I haven't spoken to anybody to be able to shop across the world. We have a lot of Iraqis participating in events like Victoria's Secret semi-annual sale. They participate with events like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all from the comfort of their homes, which is something that no one in the world experiences or enjoys except Iraqi customers through Pure Platform and American customers when you talk about Black Friday, right? When you have all the vendors available in one place. I'm going to end it here. I know I said a lot of things, and I'll open it up for questions.
شكرا عزيزي استاذ محمد. يعني it's very obvious انه الابلكيشن يعني شلون نقول بالعراقي يعني كلش مشتغلين بشكل جيد، وهوايه امور بالسايكل اللي هي هوايه شركات قبل حاولت ان تسوي هذه قبل. بس it seems انه كانت difficult. من ضمنها واحده من المشاكل انا اذكر البيمنت جيت واي اللي هي اعتقد اللي هي هسه مو موجوده بالعراق. فلحد غير، فانت اذا تحل مشكله ممكن اللي بعض الاخوه اللي مو عايشين بالعراق او ما عندهم تواصل بالعراق يعرفون انه البزنس اللي اوتسايد ما يقدر يسوي بزنس كامله بسبب انه البنوك اللي عندنا بالعراق ما مرتبطه بال مثلا الفيزا كارد. تقدر تشتري بها من برا اتس فاين، بس انت ما تقدر تدفع تاخذ فلوسك كمستورد او كتاجر، فالاكونت مالتك يصير مفصول دائما. يعني ما تقدر تكون عندك اكونت بالعراق بحساب برا وهكذا. ف انا اعرف التحديات بهذا الاندستري اللي انت فتت فيه كلش صعبه. واحده من عندها ايضا الكوستم which is القوانين كلش تتغير. احنا وي ديل بالبزنس هناك بالعراق، وعندنا واحده من البيج تشالنجز بهذا الموضوع. يعني هاو تو ارينج. احنا نشتغل مينلي بالمجال الميديكال ايضا، والريجوليشن تتغير هوايه. زين. بالشمال عندهم ريجوليشن تختلف عن الوسط وعن الجنوب. و فانت يعني البزنس اللي تسويه اتس بين تستد بالتاكيد وقاعد تشتغل به بالعراق. فالتجربه فريده بالحقيقه يعني، وانا احييك عليها وان شاء الله يعني بالموفقيه. عندي بعض السؤال تو ستارت وذ. بالنسبه لللوكال فندرز، يعني هسه الكاستمر اللي راح يروح على بيور بلاتفورم بالعراق هو راح يشوف عنده تو فندرز، عنده الانترناشونال فندرز وعنده اللوكال فندرز، صحيح؟
صح.
صحيح. زين. بالنسبه لللوكال فندرز الموضوع ما بي خلينا نقول بيمنت اوتسايد، راح تكون كلها بيمنت بالكيدوز.
No, it doesn't matter. انت تضيف كل البرودكتس in one shopping cart between local and global, and all of the payment options يعني موجودة بالأخير. كلها credit cards. You can use any. We use credit card processor. We use two credit card processors. We use Stripe for international credit card processing. For anyone that has اللي عنده credit card خارج العراق. So we work with Discover, American Express, Visa, MasterCard, anything works. And من أي دولة يعني كلها works very nice. We also we use KeyCard for local credit card processing for Iraqi MasterCard credit cards. And now بالأخير بالسنة الأخيرة وكذا they started to do يعني local processing of credit cards بالعراق.
زين. بالنسبه للسمول فندرز اللي يريدون تو جوين البلاتفورم بالعراق، شنو البروسيجر راح يكون؟ يتصلون اكو فد يعني بيج محدده they have to go to it, register their business, list their products there. شنو الآلية؟
طبعا هذا one of the biggest challenge. يعني بأمريكا مثلا انت عندك EIN number, you can look up a company. احنا one of the challenges انه انت حتى you provide a trustless platform للcustomers, you need to have at least a business. يعني مو شرط هسه business مسجل وكلها تفاصيل، بس على الأقل they have the products that they say they have, right? ولو احنا system doesn't need to trust them, we can charge them money if they lie and stuff like that. بس بكل الأحوال يعني we don't want to dilute the system. So one of the challenges كان إنه how do you know that a business is a business؟ واحد يسجل يقول أنا مثلا أبيع لابتوبات وكذا. How do you know that this is an actual person that's selling laptops? So إحنا the only way that we can do it, to be honest with you, in Iraq it's very difficult. So the only way إنه they have to provide some sort of a social media. لأنه الcompanies بالعراق they have to have social media. They use it to sell the products. أكثر sometimes من the physical access. So they have to have social media access, and we have to verify. And usually it's more of an automated process. We generate a code, we send it to Facebook or Instagram. إذا راح وجاب لنا الكود ودخله يمنا يعني معناها هو هذا صاحب البيج. Otherwise, if he has no connection, يعني CEO يقول لك أنا ما عندي تواصل وكذا. Okay, fine. Then we need to do more different verification. To be honest with you, this has been very popular. We launched this feature. First day we had over 100 applicants, and we signed up a bunch of them, يعني 100 companies. لأنه تدري e-commerce بالعراق is very difficult. أنت هنا تاخذ a whole platform. حتى السيرش اللي أنا شفتك إياه موجودة on the local. يعني هنا you have a whole platform available to you for free. to pure platforms customers or your own customers. You can share with the link. هاي البيج مالتي تعالوا عليها. بس التشالنج انه as a startup company, as a small company, we're not a startup anymore, we're growing. But it's been a challenge, you have to staff this. So we stopped taking applications. This is one of the growth issues that we've seen, which is good. It's a good problem to have. When you grow too fast, it's a good problem to have, but sometimes you want to make sure that you don't choke. We have to stop sometimes the bleeding, and we stopped taking in vendors. But it's usually a manual onboarding process to verify. بالعراق صعبة you verify.
Thank you very much. I agree with you. As long as you take the reliability on the sites, on the responsibility of the pure platform to deliver the product to the end user once they pay the cost. So you need to make sure the vendors, they are reliable. So the checking is important, but I believe as well the local vendors would be a very interested to your platform as well. لأنه الفيسبوك والسوشيال ميديا it is for publicity for their product is good, but as a platform on its own doesn't provide like this. For example, searching, listing product, put them in the cart, and this stuff. So the platform itself for Iraqi vendors, it would be, I believe, there is a big market for it. Once it's reached to the level that you can have a system that can, let's say, identify and qualify those vendors and put them on the system. And the other question, maybe the groceries would be as well as a step maybe forward in the future to think about. What is my main issue is about the import from outside, which is to avoid the maybe especially at the beginning with these keep changing of regulation of imports. So maybe to think about local vendors would add value as well to your platform, because there is a market for it, I believe. اوكي، فعندنا هسه سؤال اعتقد انت بالسلايد الاخير جاوبت جزء من عنده، يقول بانه هل ممكن الرصيد الهاتف كوسيله للدفع؟ هي اسيا اعتقد يقصد الاخ، او يمكن اسيا.
اي هو بالعكس الرصيد. The problem with هذا الموضوع طبعا احنا we have the Kido as an alternative to this. يعني you don't need to pay with your رصيد. The reason why هواي عراقيين يقول لك انا ادفع بالرصيد. يعني basically a prepaid plan and you use your prepaid minutes to convert to actual currency to pay. يعني it's a new concept in cash-based economies موجودة حتى بالخليج. There are a lot of challenges. اولا يعني انت ما تقدر تشتري unlimited. يعني هاي حتى الموبل payments بالعراق موبل wallets they're very limited. يعني عندنا مثلا زبون يريد يشتري لابتوب $3000 $4000 او ايفون فوق $1000. يعني the wallet has restrictions, legal restrictions, central bank restrictions. فانت ما تقدر تشتري. الرصيد has restriction. I think I'm not sure. يعني don't quote me. I think it's يعني يمكن $100 $30 $20 يعني something very silly. يعني you cannot use it as an actual form of payment. It's meant for small purchases. But in any case, Kido is actually a great alternative to this. People يستخدمون الرصيد لأنه خلينا نقول يتعاجز يروح يوقف بالبنك ويفتح account وفيزا وماستر كارد وكذا. بس they can in the app they can order a Kido rep, and the Kido rep will come to them. They don't need to trust the person. The person doesn't need to trust them. They hand them the cash. They immediately see the Kidos in their account, and that's it. They don't need the receipt or anything. So it's a very trustless process, and it costs nothing. Because of the economics that we built it, we're actually profitable from this deposit. Even though we give the mandub, we give them up to, for now, up to 2%. We're increasing this, but 2% on an average deposit of about $500 and some dollars. It's significant بالعراق. يعني to give you an idea. الاشخاص اللي يشتغلون مع شركات التوصيل بالعراق ياخذ، يعني الشخص مو شركه التوصيل، الشخص اللي يشتغل مع شركه التوصيل ممكن ياخذ 50 to 70 cents per delivery, which is nothing بالعراق. هاي بغداد الغالي كلش طبعا. بينما احنا اذا المعدل الديبوزيت هو 500 or شراء كيدو is $500 per purchase of كيدو وتتاخذ عليه 2%، يعني that's $10 in one trip. يعني that's 20 times one trip if you work for a delivery company. So the economics are tremendously valuable for us. وبس لانه احنا الناس ما يعرفون بينا. That's يعني the biggest challenge. لانه احنا ردنا we solidify proof of concept قبل ما we advance and scale the business up. بس once الزبون يعرف بينا بعد يعني they don't need to use the رصيد. There's no point to using رصيد, to be honest with you.
Currently, delivery to which places in Iraq? All the 18 provinces?
All Iraq.
All Iraq.
Yes. Yes, everyone. We use last mile delivery companies. We use more than one. يعني أكثر من شركة نتعامل وياها.
And which is usually at the moment from, you said you have a warehouse, يعني from the, let's say the actual vendor in the, let's say in China or whatever, in America. And then once the customer made the order there on the platform, the goods is going to go to your warehouse.
Correct. We have we own our warehouse in the US, a warehouse in Dubai, a warehouse in Turkey. We had a warehouse in England and Germany for the European market. We're launching, we're upgrading the warehouses. So we put aside the European market for now. But that's the idea, is we're launching one in Saudi soon, hopefully. And so all of this you need to, but it's not a warehouse, it's really a fulfillment center. So it could be very small. Doesn't need to have the storage cost and expenses and so on.
Yeah, it's just for fast moving. Yani, it's not going to stay.
Yeah, anything that arrives today leaves to Iraq tomorrow, except weekends and holidays.
Oh, great. So you have like daily shipping to Iraq.
100%, yes, daily. From all
That's
markets.
A huge operation.
And not only that, Kadam, if you order 10 items, which is unusual, like this does not exist in the whole MENA region, by the way. Yeah. If you order 10 items like through Shop and Ship, they arrive in different different times. Obviously, you cannot control. You know this, and even in England, you order خمس شغلات, they arrive within like 2 weeks span. Like they don't have to all come at the same time. Now you're faced with the challenge, like I said. Do you wait and aggregate and ship, because that will save you money? لأنه أنت هياخذون منك الكوست مال ship. طبعا أنت you're going to be surprised. You don't know what the cost of the shipping is until they receive your product. That's another crazy idea for Westerners to understand, but people lived, يعني most world economies they depend on this. يعني يعتبروه شيء طبيعي إنه أنا ما أعرف الكوست مال shipping. I'm just going to order. أتصور هو صغير فأطلبه يوصل الشيبينج كمباني وأنا إياهم معارك. أنا أقول له هو 2 pounds يقول لي لا 5 pounds. هذا حجمه كبير حجمه صغير. And then we agree on a deal and then I ship. But then I have a problem. If I don't have the items arrive at the same time, then ما أقدر أشحن مثلا بطل واحدة أو فرشة أسنان وحدها. It's going to be incredibly expensive. I have to wait for the whole order. With Pure it's not a problem. لأنه إذا أنت تطلب 70 item وايتم واحد وصل باكر اليوم يطلع باكر حتى لو فرشة أسنان واحدة. ايتم يوصل باكر يطلع عقبه. يعني حتى لو يطلع لك ايتم احنا ما عندنا مشكله. We charge you not at the moment احنا receive the item in the shop بالمخزن ونوزنها لك. لا احنا ناخذها at the point of your shopping يعني up front. فاحنا we aggregate the product up front when you shop. No one does this يعني in the whole MENA region except us.
Great. عندنا سؤال عندنا الدكتور زكي. دكتور زكي إذا ممكن تتفضل تطرح السؤال. أخواني اللي عنده سؤال ممكن يرفع الإيده على مود ممكن يقدم السؤال مباشرة للأستاذ محمد. تفضل عزيز دكتور زكي.
مرحبا عزيزي أستاذ محمد. شكرا على البرزنتيشن الحلو هذا. عندي الحقيقة سؤال يتعلق بالبرودكت اللي your presentation is about. Who are your targeted audience؟ يعني خلينا نقول هذا البرزنتيشن أنت تسويه إلى individuals who are intending to buy products or to sellers, i.e. suppliers who want to get their products on your platform. Who will be?
Yeah. So good question. So if you remember in the first slide, تكلمنا على Pure Platform being a platform to perform transaction between any two peers. So the idea is The target is to become the Visa and MasterCard for any form of digital payment as well as cash, right? All combined into one. فهنا يعني any two peers performing any type of transaction between each other can be supplied on the platform. That could be B2C, that could be B2B, that could be a service with subscription. It doesn't have to be just products. It could be a vendor, could be a manufacturer, could be any type of supply demand type players.
Okay. How about individuals whom you want to convince to use your app and to start buying through your platform? هذول different from the first category which you have just said.
لا هذول همين يريدون platform ياخذون منه products or services من شخص او بائع او vendor صح؟ بس they want something true e-commerce, easy to pay, easy to track, advanced features, but also they wanted to do something that has no transaction fees, something trustless, all embedded in front of them. يعني they see everything that's moving. This is the value اللي يجي عليها الكاستمر حتى يشتري من امازون امريكا مثلا. اذا حضرتك familiar بالعراق مثلا today it's incredibly difficult to buy from Amazon. يعني اصلا Amazon doesn't deliver to Iraq. صح؟ So now you have to rely on Facebook pages or تروح حتى مكاتب تروح عليها. So, طبعا احنا there are a few مكاتب بغداد that are big and known. They purchase from us. They don't have to deal with Amazon and all the problems or delays or issues. لانه خاصه انت عندك payment issues صح؟ يعني اذا عندك كريدت كارد بالعراق may not work on Amazon USA. It will be cancelled. هسه مثلا دبي انت ما عندك كريدت كارد اذا مو من دبي مصدره من بنك دبي ما راح تشتغل. يعني it gives you very difficult time with a lot of vendors unless you use debit or pin card. فهنا احنا we take away all of this headache. We tell the customer تعال اشتري من امازون، اشتري من سيفورا، اشتري من اديداس، اشتري من Trendyol in Turkey, اشتري من Apple, Dubai, all in one place. Don't worry about anything else except enjoying the shopping experience. لذلك احنا شعارنا تسوق وانت مرتاح. Don't worry about payment, don't worry about shipping, don't worry about tracking. ما لك اي علاقه، انت بس تضيف بضاعه للسله بيع يعني ادفع وانتظر البضاعه توصل track it until it arrives.
بس he has to approach one of these retailers يعني مثل امازون مثل صح ولا لا؟ يعني he has to buy from them and the payment through you. Payment will be done through you.
He pays us.
Okay.
Yeah, he pays us, and we pay. We have robo shoppers on over 75% of our purchases.
Okay.
Through Amazon, we're expanding.
Okay.
So you buy from us, a robot immediately buys on your behalf from the vendor.
Okay. How about sellers who want to sell through your app?
There are two methods, two ways to do this. And we've been approached by big, like Trendyol, for example. It's the Amazon of Turkey, where we have a working relationship with them. Amara, one of the largest Mal Adasat Dubai, Noon, we're in talks with them. So some big players, they looked at us and they said, لحظة يعني أنا أقدر أجرب السوق العراقي بدون ما أصرف ولا فلس، ما أفتح شركة بالعراق، ما أفتح warehouse, I don't have any risk of collecting payments. طبعا it's a challenge. Returns products, هاي كلها challenges طبعا. هاي كلها we take away. There are two categories of suppliers. Category big suppliers. هذول البيج احنا we add them just like Amazon and others very quick through an agreement. أو احنا نضيفهم لأن الناس يريدوهم صح؟ If the supplier is not big enough, يعني like Amazon, Victoria's Secret, Sephora, Adidas, whatever, they can approach us and we ask them the following questions. نقول لهم إنه أنت البضاعة مالتك موجودة عندك بالعراق، لو أنت نقدر نضيف مالتك الإي-كوميرس بلاتفورم. إذا عنده بضاعة بالعراق ممكن يضيفك in the local market. So they can create a local profile, a local company, upload their products and they sell through us. إذا ما عندهم بضاعتهم بالعراق مثلا دبي يريدون يبيعون بالعراق أو مثلا بأوروبا يريدون يبيعون بالعراق, then we integrate their e-commerce company, and then as soon as the customer in Iraq buys a product, we turn around, we buy from them, they ship to our warehouse, we ship it to Iraq. So they don't need to worry about anything and they get the payment upfront.
Okay, I understand. Thank you very much.
No problem.
محمد بس تعقيبا على الإجابة اللي ذكرتها الدكتور زكي، بالنسبة لدول السبلاير اللي هم الانترناشونال who made the payment to them؟ انتم تسوي لهم البيمنت؟ لو البيمنت هي should be through you.
اي so most of them have e-commerce، يعني نقدر ندفع احنا on their website with our special account through them. We pay with a credit card. يعني we had talks with other vendors who قالوا مثلا at the end of the month we do reconciliation مدري ايش, but we haven't really done this at this point, to be honest. It's all direct payments. So we have a special account, we log in, we have a rebate or a discount for us, seller discount, لأن الكاستمر يشتريها بنفس السعر, يعني ماكو any upcharge. Same نفس price, we pay shipping. So احنا من نشتري من الزبون, we turn around, we buy the product with our special account, and we get the discount with the customer gets the product. And the vendor gets the price, the cost قبل ما تطلع البضاعة من مخزنهم. يعني كأنه عايش بأمريكا ودي يبيع بضاعة بأمريكا, يعني upfront payment collection.
يعني بالحقيقة هذه is a very very big يعني advantage إذا البلاتفورم توفر هذا الشيء للسبلاير برا, لأن هي واحدة من الأشياء البيمنت collection of payment من العراق مزعجة جدا.
And returns are huge in Baghdad. 25%.
Exactly.
25%. محافظات can reach as high as 75%. We actually have statistics on us. So in Baghdad, there's 25% return rate usually on products. محافظات up to 75%. With us, there's less than I think the last number we got 0.7%. Incredibly minimal. And the reason why there is like this, it's not a return. It's يعني they call the customer does not have signal أو كذا, يرجعوه للمحل وبعدين يعني لل delivery company, and next day they deliver it again. يعني they couldn't get a hold of the customer. يعني very minimal issues, but doesn't cost the seller anything.
شكرا. عندنا الأستاذ محمد الموسوي عنده سؤال. تفضل أستاذ محمد.
Hello, Mohammed. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thank you for the lovely presentation. It's truly astonishing what you guys are doing so far. Well done.
Thank you.
Mohammed, I'm a founder and CEO of one of the leading jiu-jitsu brands in Dubai.
Okay. You and I should meet.
Yeah.
In Dubai most of the time now.
Sure, why not? Actually, we only focus on retailing online, strictly only online. And you can pretty much say we are a product of COVID. After the big pandemic, we realized the retail is not the same anymore and everyone is shifting online. So we decided to establish the brand and only sell online. Honestly, we've been trying to infiltrate Iraqi market for a long time now. I think this is a great opportunity for us, but there's a few questions I have in mind when it comes to integrations and payments and shipping. Now, as you're aware, retailers online use Shopify. I'm one of them. And Shopify is a special integration for payments, for shipping, for pretty much everything on the website. So when it comes to the integration of the products, let's say I want to sell a specific product that the Iraqi market is interested in, but not the entire line of my products. Who loads the products on your platform? How do you integrate my products that I selected on your platform?
Can you answer me why you don't want all the products being sold to Iraq? Is it because it's heavy or?
Yeah, assuming some of the products that we sell, the Iraqi market has already figured out a solution where they can perhaps find it in a cheaper market, or we don't really see a market for it in Iraq, where we only have a specific products that we truly believe that it will be a success in Iraq. Maybe as a start, let's say.
Here's what you can do. So you got nothing to lose. Leave all the products, right? So what you can do is we can integrate. We can make a deal. We can integrate with your e-commerce website. So Iraqis will have access to all your products. Let them pick and choose what they want. If you want to highlight certain ones, we can have a landing page once they click on icon, it goes to that landing page with the, if you have a special page that highlights certain products. Customers will be able to add it to cart and buy, and then as if somebody's buying from Dubai. You don't care. You don't care if somebody's buying from Iraq or Dubai. You're paying the same price. They're paying the same price, and you're shipping to an address here in Dubai like you would to any other address, and we deliver it to Iraq. The advantage of this is now, once we integrate, now your cost is really launching in Iraq is zero. There's absolutely no cost. This allows you to focus, if you want, on social media. So you can create a Facebook page, for example, and boost ads like TikTok or Facebook, Instagram in Iraq, target Iraqi market, spend $2,000 a month, whatever, highlight certain products that you have with the link. Once they click on the link, it launches the app and goes straight to that that item that you have on your page. And then obviously you'll have, we'll offer you statistics. You'll see statistics, you know, how many people clicked on it, you know, how many people purchased, unique people, and all of the stuff. And, you know, we do everything. We handle everything, and you just handle advertisement if you want to.
Great. Now, that leads to my second question, which is a follow-up question to what you have said. Now, you said it will cost me zero to launch in Iraq. Now, assuming I have audience that is clicking on my website in Iraq, what is my advantages? Why would I have your platform to launch my products in Iraq instead of my own platform, where I have international shipment companies offering me, you know, shipment to Iraq on very good rates? Is it payment advantages?
So, I mean, this is like the same question asked for any startup company that gets acquired, right? I can do the same, right? Sure. So theoretically, you can go out and build the same platform, a similar platform to us, right? Now, the challenges is not just shipping. The challenges is payment upfront, integrating with all the payment providers. And then, like I said, when it's not just integrating the payments, it's actually the challenges of fraud detection. You know, this goes beyond this. We'll figure all this out on your behalf. You don't need to worry about it, right? There is no like a payment dispute where all of a sudden you ship the product, it's in Iraq, and all of a sudden there's a dispute on the credit card and someone takes the money away. You don't need to worry about this. Now, sure, theoretically you can rebuild this, right? You know, it's not impossible, but same thing, Amazon could have built Souq.com instead of buying it for $500 million in Dubai, right? I mean, they could have built the same thing, but and Google could have built YouTube, but they didn't. They acquired it for $1 billion. So the idea here is we've carried on, you know, the upfront payment, obviously the e-commerce platform or the app, where people have incentives to come, not just to buy your product, because you know there's psychology associated with المطاعم دائما واحد بصف الأخ لأنه عادة this increases their chances of customers, not reduces their chances. لأنه sometimes someone comes ياكل كباب بس يشوف أبو الفلافل مثلا, comes back next day for the falafel, and so on, right? So it's the same thing. Someone may come not for your product, they may come for bodybuilding, which we have in the app, and they, you know, they go get protein and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, you know, they see your products and they say, oh, I can also add it to the cart, and you know, things like that offered. Plus, we have the advanced tracking, which integrates local delivery, last mile delivery companies, as well as international delivery companies, as well as delivery companies within Dubai, right? As you deliver from your vendor to the, you know, our warehouse and then to the customer. All of these advanced features, obviously the search, people can actually share a link to your product. So theoretically, yeah, you can build the same app again, but you know, you get it all for free. You know, why? That's not your business model, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all you want to do is sell your product. You're getting a platform for free. So you have an option to build it for a lot of money and a lot of cost and a lot of risk, or you can use it for free.
Perfect.
We take a percentage on per item sold, which is agreed upon prior to launching, prior to integration.
Okay, noted. Now I do have actually several questions, but I'll just keep it with the important one. Now, when it comes to listing the products, you mentioned that Amazon is already integrated.
Yeah, I demonstrate with Amazon. Yeah, Amazon, and we have about, I think, 70 vendors.
Great. So let's say we are selling a very similar product to a product that's already established in the USA. And how can we know that the competition is fair in terms of placement on the first page, second page? Where is my company is going to be listed, and how is the competition being fair between two similar products?
Yeah, to be honest with you, that hasn't been a big issue. People usually know what they want and they go to get it. Aside from the people that shop around, if people that shopping around, I mean, if they have access to tens of millions of products, chances are they're not going to run across your product, right? Because they have the whole world. We're opening the whole world to them. So typically, the people that come to your product are people that know your product, right? Even in Amazon, they know the product. So to me, Amazon is not advertising your product in in Iraq, even if they probably provide the same product. And you have that advantage. Amazon, is not a big partner of ours yet.
Not in terms of
them.
not in terms of the people who are searching specifically for my product. Let's say it will be a generic search in terms of the keywords, because sometimes if you're searching for tape, you could just say tape, and then you will have several different companies who offer tape. So I mean, in that standards, how can we know we are listed in a fair competition between companies who can offer the same product in terms of the keywords at least?
Yeah, to be honest with you, the placement of the vendors are by sales. So the biggest selling vendor to us is Amazon, so it's placed first. We're not gonna, we can't shuffle these around, because if the most used or accessed is Amazon, obviously we want it to be very accessible to the customer, and it drops. If you're, obviously, if you grow in volume and you can start going up the list, you don't have to be number one, but you can go up the list. But really, at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing is social media boosting. You can pay, your investment in Iraq could be just $1,000, $500 a month. That's it. And that's social media 100%. Just bring, no one is advertising any other product, your product, except you. So advertise it, have a link, people click on it, it launches the app, it goes straight to that products page, and that's it. People buy, and you see the track record on it. And once people know it, you can even provide an option. You say, if you share it with others, I give you a discount or something. You can play all kinds of different games, and you allow the product to go viral with other people, right? Because every product, I haven't shown this, but every product, you have the add to cart in the bottom, and you have a share link at the top. When you click on share link, we actually share the profit with you. So we share 1% of the total price of the item with you, if whoever you shared it with actually ends up buying the product. And this link does not expire, so it's shareable forever. And it doesn't matter how many times the customer clicks on it. Every time they will get a percentage of this, and this is coming from us, not from you. So this is the way would probably to advertise your product and bring it forward.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a question, Mohammed. أحد الأخوة يسأل where is the pure storage just in Baghdad? I think you have answered that. You said only in United States you have a warehouse, right?
So we have fulfillment warehouse, not a storage warehouse. So we don't store products. Everything that we have in our warehouse, it has already been purchased. We don't stack any products that have not been purchased. Yeah. So these fulfillment warehouses are all over the markets that we're offering. So one in Dubai, one in Turkey, we had in Europe, we're upgrading these, and then one in the US. Once we purchase from those respective markets, it arrives at the warehouse, these respective warehouses. Then from those warehouses, they ship in volume every day, boxes, 300, 400, 500 pounds per day. All goes through DHL Express or FedEx Express all the way to Iraq. Once it arrives, all that arrives converges in one warehouse in Iraq. Again, it's a fulfillment center. The box arrives, we sort, we put in bags for the customer, and then to the last mile delivery company to pick up, all within 24 hours. Nothing is stored in our warehouse. So we have no storage cost.
Maybe من العراق.
And we can maintain like.
Yeah, maybe نعرف يمكن سؤال من العراق. هو ممكن هنا نفد شيء يسموه ممكن drop shipping, which is something quite close to. You don't have a physical يعني stock to the product. The stock is actually the vendor or the supplier stocks. So you control that stock and to give it in the hands of the customer in Iraq. But you manage the process of the buying and shipping and delivering the product to the door of the customer. We have a question. Some item needs certain product specification in order to meet the EU. Can you purchase it and ship it?
EU?
But I think ست وداد سألت هذا السؤال. أعتقد ما عندكم اوبريشن حاليا بيو كي صح؟ هلو؟
مساء الخير.
اهلا ست وداد.
شلونك؟ اسفه تاخرت اليوم، يعني يا دوبك هسه لحقت. اذا اكو برودكت يعني واحد I want to ship like a couple of months ago certain products to يعني to market it here, but I found it is so difficult to find you need to have certain specs, certain storage area, like to then they allow you to purchase that from my friends, which I ask before going to any official link like route. So I don't know what can. Do you mean that this platform can go and do it on our behalf and bring it to the UK? This is my question. Do they need to have this kind of agreement to be the EU specification to bring it? Who will do that? Because for me, I thought my friends told me they will ask you that first, what is the product, what's inside it, to see. Do you know the UK have all those questions before you bring anything to the market here?
Yeah, so just to clarify, the app targets the Iraqi audience. So Iraqis can buy from these respective markets, but not vice versa. So it's not we're launching it in different countries. We're starting to get to other countries, but we're far from focused on Western Europe at this point, or the US. We're focused on the MENAP region, and then Africa.
Yes.
Huge market in Eastern Europe, potentially.
I think UK.
Yeah, actually, the product is in Eastern Europe, in one of the countries in East Europe. Yes, but still, because the UK is out of Brexit, it is out of the EU, so it is so much limitation now. Before, it's no problem, I think, anyway.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about this because we don't ship into the UK, European countries. We ship from. In the US, we are certified to ship dangerous goods products, like any inflammable products, like cologne, perfume, and some products and so on. Obviously, we're probably the only, or maybe one. I'm not aware of any other company that has that license in Iraq. Usually, like when you have perfume or colognes, they either come through like sea shipment, which bypasses a lot of regulations and stuff, or they come in bags, right? We can officially ship those through DHL Express because we are licensed to ship these products. But this is typically from the US into Iraq. Will be controlled by the app. It's not going to allow you to add any items that are prohibited by Iraqi customs to be added to the app.
I see. Okay, and in the future you might expand to like Middle East and North Africa.
Yeah, actually, we're actively right now working to expand this into several countries. Literally, like this week, I have several presentations and meetings. The idea is to launch it. Our focus is in the MENAP region and Africa, potentially, eventually, also expanding to Eastern Europe.
Right. So, what is it? Do you have in mind like a certain amount? Is it a bulk? Is it which kind of? It's like Amazon, maybe 10 units, 5 units, 1 unit. Do you have a certain amount? Every customer you need if they want to use, or it is?
No.
She asked.
No. We actually ship something called, we call it the real weight. A couple of companies started doing that in Iraq, but we were the first one to do it. Even Shop and Ship, they have a minimum 1 pound shipment requirement. So, for example, if you ship, I don't know, like something light, like
like 5 kilos, 10 kilos. Is it okay? Do you take these kind of things?
Oh no, you can actually do a toothbrush, which is like maybe 1/10 of a pound. Yeah, you can. Yeah. So we were the first in Iraq to launch, and like I said, I haven't seen it in the MENA region. So Shop and Ship and others, they have minimum weight requirement. So if you ship like a toothbrush, they consider it minimum 1 pound, right? So you still pay for a 1 pound shipment, even though it's maybe 10 ounces or something, like very small, right? Or like 5 ounces. So
that's good then. That's good. Can you take the things from EU to Iraq then?
Yeah, we ship to Iraq.
That's good then. Before I go to Iraq, I'll use you.
Not only that, we just launched a new feature. Hopefully, it's very big for expats, Iraqis outside of Iraq. Any Iraqi that is interested, any Iraqi that lives outside of Iraq, but is interested in gifting someone inside Iraq, they can actually download the app, use their own local, like England number, German number, US number to create an account, but they will not have access to full features until they associate themselves with the person in Iraq who they will buy the product for. And then you can browse what I've just shown. You can browse Amazon and everybody else. You can add to cart and you can buy. But when you buy, you will buy on behalf of that Iraqi that you associated with your account. So technically, if I have 7 members in Iraq that I usually buy products for, I send them Amazon and a laptop, clothes, whatever. I don't need now to do like several things. I buy the products, receive them, package them, send them to that person. Now I can just download Pure Platform, associate myself with these 7 accounts, like my cousin, my sister, my neighbor, whatever, my friend, whatever. I associate all of them with me. And now when I buy from all of these vendors, like I buy from England, US, whatever, I can select which person this shopping cart is going to go to once I buy it. So now I can send, 8 gifts, right? I can buy, or I can gift keto, right? I can gift, 5
kilos. Sorry to interrupt you, but how much? I couldn't join your presentation from the beginning, but how much do you have a charge? How much do you charge? Do you have a price list which we can see?
We are the cheapest in the entire Middle East region per pound. You cannot any cheaper, even Shop and Ship. And I had a presentation. I had an interview one time with Love in Dubai, here in Dubai, where I compared DHL Express in Dubai versus DHL through us to Iraq. And actually, our cost per DHL Express, which is the most expensive, if you do it in Iraq today, the cost per pound is about anywhere between $30 to $45 per pound for DHL Express. And in Dubai, it's more expensive than that, actually. So I shipped 2 papers and it cost me $88. 2 papers, single, power of attorney papers, $88.
How much it cost you?
For us, 1 pound DHL Express costs $7.75. You will not find any company that does it at this price. And it actually dropped, and we have the real price as well. So someone can buy a toothbrush and maybe cost them 70 cents to ship because it's very low.
That's good. That's very good. Thank you very much. We know about such a platform, and I hope in the future I'll definitely use it. Inshallah.
Thank you.
شكرا جزيلا.
maybe عندنا سؤال. احنا اقتربنا لنهاية البرزنتيشن. عندنا ميبي اخر سؤال. استاذ حسن رافع طالب مداخله او سؤال. استاذ حسن ممكن تتفضل؟ حسن الدهان. الو
حسن, you're on mute. You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm working off an iPhone, so I'm not used to the iPad. I'm very familiar with your product, Mo, and you're doing a good job. One question that I have, in certain countries, there's high customs. For example, Jordan, where perfume is has a premium, property. How do you equate that with the application when it comes to someone where in a jurisdiction there's certain, let's call them tariffs or fees that are high?
Yeah, so obviously we don't solve the problem of a country if the custom prices are high, right? We provide albeit or with the customs that are high, we provide near product price without any upcharge. So if Jordan is one of the most expensive countries when it comes to customs, if they charge, fee, for example, we will charge 30% custom fee, and thank you, Mother. We will charge 30% custom fee because that's what goes to the government. But then our fee is going to be 0.5% or $1, whichever is less, and so it's very, very minimal. We can't solve the customs issue obviously if your country charges a lot. But we reduce the cost per pound and the upcharge. So I mean that's the best we can.
Thank you very much. And then you can get the list of all the items, because I'm sure the Jordanian government has it digitally, and you can put that along as an add-on with the digital products that they offer. And also the last question is, for example, if you have a car, you have the option of getting used parts. Let's say for cars that are US or something like that. Are you working with vendors that are using used products? Like, for example, a lot in the US, you have these applications that basically are selling secondhand clothes where you go into like Poshmark or something like that. Now that brand is priced differently. So will these governments go by the actual purchase price? Can you prove to them that, with this application, this Gucci bag, let's call it, its MSRP is 300, but it was invoiced at 300, instead of 300, it was invoiced at like, let's say 50. And how do they deal with that? So that's just some questions to run by and to think about it, especially, with different countries and with different things, you can give a better idea. But anyway, I love your platform, that, and looking forward for your near success.
Thanks, Hassan. I appreciate it. Obviously, so we have a lot of people that order auto parts. Probably not the too heavy ones because it would be very cost prohibitive when you bring it through air. But they buy from eBay and others. They buy a lot of car-related accessories and stuff. And we have a lot of statistics on a lot of products that people enjoy and browse and add to cart and view or share. So we have a lot of statistics on that, and we display it to the customer so they can see what other people are looking at. But yeah, our goal is to bring the world to the Iraqi customer. So while هو يشرب شاي ويتعشى وقاعد يباع تلفزيون كذا can browse the world. Now, obviously, because they browse the world, they have access, like any free market, to all kinds of products, same product at different prices. So maybe the iPhone from Apple Dubai will be more expensive than iPhone from Apple USA, and they get to choose which one they want to select. I mean, it's their job, right, to select. We just bring them the world and they select from it. Free market.
Free market. Thank you. We said this is the last question, but when you said about you have a lot of statistics, it's interesting. I want to ask about maybe if you have mentioned at the beginning, sorry if I repeat the question, if you mentioned the slides, if I missed it. What's the average, I don't know if you collect this information, what's the average age of the customers at the moment in Iraq, and in which provinces is the most, or how they are distributed over the Iraq?
So the biggest population using the app is between the ages of I'm trying to remember, it was 24 to 35. That's the biggest, and the second biggest, ironically, 35 to 45, and then after that is the teenage group. Obviously, dominantly men at this point. And let me show you. This is when I talk about AI driven, recently viewed. These are my recently viewed items. But then if you drop down to the bottom, you'll find trending by similar customers. These are products that are in real time being updated. So these are what customers in Iraq are looking at, buying, adding to cart, and so on. So, you know, like, and this is real information for people like me, like my age group, my profile, my location. Obviously, Baghdad is about 55%, 60% of purchases. The rest are muhafadat. Second muhafada is Basra, then Karbala and Najaf, Najaf and then Karbala. And then it goes, ironically, north is like near the bottom, which is surprising, but maybe because of our penetration in the market, we haven't advertised. We're Baghdad based. But, you know, these are, you know, this is like one of the most powerful items, things that we have. A lot of these businesses in Iraq, they struggle with, what should I display to my customers? What should I buy to my customers? In our case, we see this in real time. We know exactly what Iraqis are looking for, especially at the age group. If I switch to female, my background female and different age group, I'll see like more female products. And then you'll see like people really focus on vitamins, clothes, and technology primarily. And then, you know, some grooming products. But this is real. And this is very valuable information, obviously, across all vendors and
for the business. Yes, if they can understand these numbers and this information is very valuable. I remember a few years ago with vitamins, it was on Google AdWords. When you search the keywords, what's the most in vitamins in Iraq? It is protein. It comes up with people, I think 100,000 people searching for protein element. The word of protein in Arabic.
Yeah.
Per month.
I can tell you, Kazem, the only challenge with that is most Iraqi, this is unique to Iraq. Most Iraqi don't use Google. They don't search on, that's why we have now focused on browser, on the website. We launched it much later because...
It's very easy for them now. They don't need to analyze the Google and searching keywords.
Well, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised unless Google is pulling that information from you know, like Facebook or Instagram. You'll be surprised if and I've seen this. You know, I'm not going to say every Iraqi, but a lot of big population of Iraqi. You know, in the U.S., every time there's a question, I will, hey Siri, and then I ask my question, right? And it goes to Google or whatever. But in Iraq, I noticed a lot of young Iraqi, if they want to search for something, they'll go on Facebook and then start searching on Facebook. They'll search, okay, iPhone or you know, whatever, clothes or something. I remember in the early days, which is a funny story, when I launched the website, I focused a lot about the website and forgot about my Facebook and Instagram pages, right? I thought they were secondary until a lot of customers that were complaining. They said, you guys don't even have a page or a website. And I'm like, what do you mean we don't have a website? We have a very expensive website. We spend a lot of time and effort on it. And then finally, I found out that people were actually going into Facebook and type in pure platform. And to them, this is an actual search for the company's website. So then we shifted attention to Facebook and Instagram, which is predominantly the sources of truth for a lot of Iraqis.
Thank you very much, Mohammed, for this presentation, and I wish you very good luck with the Pure platform. وإن شاء الله يعني يكون بها تقدم أكثر وأكثر. أعتقد وصلنا إلى نهاية الوقت المحدد. أكو هواية أكيد، أكو هواية أسئلة ممكن على الشغل مال اللي سويته، بهواية أكيد تفاصيل، واللي الناس اللي مهتمين بالبزنس أكيد راح يستفادون هواية. ما أعرف إذا ممكن تتواصل، راح تكون البرزنتيشن افيلبل، صح محمد؟
اللي دزيت لك تقدر you can share it.
اوكي ممتاز. اللي احد محتاجه ممكن نبعث له اياه، ممكن يكتب على info@alkindisociety.org or we can send the slides to him. فأعزائي، أعتقد لقد وصلنا لنهاية الوقت المحدد لهذه الفعالية، وأود أشكركم جميعا مرة ثانية لحضور هذه الفعالية، كما أود أن أشكر الأخ محمد الخفاجي لاستضافته اليوم معنا. أتمنى قد استفدتم من التعرف والاطلاع على منصة بيور التجارة الإلكترونية، كما أتمنى أن نراكم في بزنس شوكيس قادمة إن شاء الله. أستودعكم الله وتصبحون على خير وأمسية سعيدة وتحيات.
مع السلامة.
على السلامة. شكرا محمد، مع السلامة.
شكرا جزيلا. مع السلامة.
مع السلامة.